Hey guys, Trexcapades here with another Escape from Tarkov video. With the recent crash in the crypto market, I want to go over whether or not it's worth it to build out your Bitcoin farm this wipe. A lot of you guys are probably getting to the stage where you might be considering the Bitcoin farm, so I roughed out a bunch of numbers this morning using BSG's extremely complex formula and came up with some results I'll share right now. I'll also go over whether or not it might be worth it depending on what kind of player you are and share some surprising conclusions about other hideout stuff I discovered while going over the numbers. So let's jump into it. While going over these numbers, I'm going to assume you've built out your hideout up to Intelligence Center Level 2, which is a prerequisite for the Bitcoin farm, and won't be including the cost to get there in the model for whether the Bitcoin farm is worth it. I'll just assume you were going to do that hideout upgrading anyways for various reasons like crafting quest items and reducing your scav timer and so on. That said, I'll break down how much it will cost to build out each level of the Bitcoin farm and how long it will take to pay off the initial fees in two ways. One, if you don't buy any of the graphics cards on the flea market, and the other if you buy all of them on the flea market. Most likely you'll fall somewhere in the middle, but these numbers will give you a solid idea of whether it will be worth it for you specifically. I'm also not going to include fuel costs in this model because with all the other stuff you can craft for profit in the hideout, especially your water collector level 3, I feel like the fuel will already be paid off. On a side note, one surprising conclusion I came across is that the water collector alone can make you about 450 to 500,000 rubles per day if you're willing to pull out the purified water every 5 hours and 35 minutes and replace your water filter every 8-ish hours or so. Water filters cost about 22k and the purified water can be sold for 120k plus on the flea. To me, water collector level 3 is a must for profitability and a big takeaway from the math I did for this video. Anyways, on to Bitcoin farm level 1. To build it, you will need 5 T-plugs at about 10k each, 1 VPX flash storage module around 105k rubles, 10 power cords at about 18k each, 10 power supply units around 55k each, and 15 CPU fans around 13k apiece. That comes to a rough total of about 1,080,000 rubles. If you have one card in your Bitcoin farm, you'll earn roughly 72k rubles in Bitcoin per day. So to pay off the cost of constructing the Bitcoin farm level 1, it will take 15 days if you use a card you found in-game. If you buy the card on the flea market at the current price of 300,000 rubles, then it will take 19 days to pay off. Again, these numbers do not include fuel costs for reasons I previously mentioned. After paying off the initial cost of the Bitcoin farm level 1, you'll earn roughly 72,000 rubles per day or 2.15 million rubles per month. If you pump your Bitcoin farm level 1 up to the maximum of 10 graphics cards, you'll be earning about 99,000 rubles per day. That means it will take roughly 11 days to pay off the cost of the Bitcoin farm if you found all those graphics cards in-game. It will take 41 days to pay off, however, if you buy all 10 graphics cards. Afterward, you'll earn about 99,000 rubles per day or 2.9 million rubles per month. Moving on to Bitcoin farm level 2. To construct it, you will need 15 CPU fans at about 13k a pop, 10 power supply units at 55k each, 15 printed circuit boards at 12k each, 5 phase control relays around 18k apiece, and 2 military power filters at about 53k each. So the sum total to build Bitcoin farm level 2 is about 1.1 million rubles. Adding on to that, the price to build out Bitcoin farm level 1 brings the total construction cost to around 2.2 million rubles. Assuming you build the farm to fill it up with a max of 25 graphics cards, you'll be earning a total of 145,000 rubles per day. So to pay off the total cost of construction for Bitcoin farm level 1 and 2, if you find all 25 graphics cards in RAID, will take a little over 15 days. If, however, you buy all the graphics cards, it will take you about 67 days to pay off. After that, you'll earn a profit of about 145,000 rubles per day, or about 4.3 million rubles per month. Around here, we're getting into territory that unless you're a cracked graphics card farmer, it might not be worth it to go all the way up to 25. That said, I'll go over recommendations in a minute after roughing out the numbers for Bitcoin farm level 3. So now for the big kahuna, Bitcoin farm 3. The kicker for constructing this is you must have solar power, which is very expensive. Here's the quick cost breakdown. To construct Bitcoin Farm 3, you'll need 25 CPU fans at about 23K each, 15 silicon tubes around 10K each, 10 electric motors at 55K per unit, 10 pressure gauges at 50K per unit, and one Sten military battery at about 300K. And then, of course, you'll need solar power. The materials above, excluding solar, come out to about 2 million rubles, while building solar comes out to around a whopping 10 million rubles. You heard that right, 10 million rubles just for solar, which brings the total cost of building Bitcoin Farm 3 to a hefty 12 million rubles. Adding on top of that, the cost of Bitcoin Farm level 1 and 2 brings us to a total of 14.2 million rubles for all construction costs. If you do go for it and pack it with 50 graphics cards, you'll be making 218,000 rubles per day, which means you can pay off the total cost of the entire farm in roughly 60 to 65 days if you found all 50 cards in-game. If you buy all 50 cards, though, it will take 500 years. I mean, about 130 days to pay off the full farm. After that, you'll make 218,000 rubles per day, or about 6.5 million rubles per month. In sum, I'd say if you're the kind of player who is still looking for their last Saliwa, then none of this will likely apply to you. If you're at the point where you're looking up a video like this, that means you're fairly far along in your hideout and looking to expand. In that case, Bitcoin Farm 1 with 1 card, and perhaps up to 10 cards if you can find a chunk of them in-game, would be worthwhile. If you're the kind of player that will try to bang out max traders or maybe even get Kappa, but not play much at all the last 2 to 3 months of wipe, then Bitcoin Farm 2 is probably not worth it this wipe, given the current price of Bitcoin. Finally, I can't see any reason to go for Bitcoin Farm level 3 with a full 50 cards this wipe, unless your primary goal is to flex your chadliness to those around you in a show of glory and bad economical choices. If you feel like, oh, I better do my Bitcoin farm or else I'm missing out on all this money, the truth is you're really not missing out on anything this wipe, so don't sweat it. For detailed information on the formula used to calculate how much Bitcoin you get per hour, given how many graphics cards you have, check out the wiki link in the description. I hope this video will help you make a better decision on whether or not you want to build out your Bitcoin farm, or at least take the stress off the process, because either way, it isn't a big swing one way or another this wipe. If this video helped you, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it will help challenge the all-powerful sentience of the YouTube algorithm. I'm also a full-time partnered streamer on Twitch, live Monday through Friday. Swing by the channel at twitch.tv/Trexcapades anytime for some good vibes, good tunes, and good old friendship. For more details about my community, check out the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and may your head, eyes, and jaws always be elusive from enemy bullets. See you in the next one.